Hello and welcome to Computing with Mr. Skywalker. Today we're going to be using Microsoft Excel to create a spreadsheet. So the first thing we need to do is open up Microsoft Excel and we're going to choose blank workbook. Now the first thing you're going to see is all of these blank cells and we've got the freedom to create whatever we want with it. Today we're going to be using some simple formulas to create some revision for you guys for maths. We're going to be doing some times tables and I'm going to show you how to do some multiplication using the formula bar here. So the first thing I want you to do is along the top we are going to put in the times tables that we're going to be auto generating using the formula function. So if you just press X2 in B1, then we're going to do our 3 times table here and our 4 times table here and go all the way across the top row, inputting, let's say, up to our 10 times table. Give us some good practice. 8 times 9 and times 10. Now these aren't actually going to do anything at the moment. These are just labels for these columns. You'll see what I mean in a minute. We're going to go down now to A2. It's important we go down to 2 because A1 here, it's not going to work. That would be the equivalent of 0. So what we want to do is put number 1 in here and 2 and go all the way down. And again, we're labeling up these rows: 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the first thing I want you to do is make sure that your spreadsheet looks like this, with the times 2, times 3, times 4, all the way to times 10 across the top row. And then down this column, down A column, we've got 1 to 10 all the way down. Now what we're going to do is use some formulas to create basically a multiplication grid. So 1 times 2, and the answer will be here. 3 times 3, the answer will be here, and so on and so forth. So the first thing we need to do is, let's start with our 2 times tables. When we're using formulas in Excel, it's important that we remember that we need to start with an equal symbol, which is a little bit different to how you guys use equals in maths. So the first thing we want to do is in B2 here, is we're going to go to the formula bar and we're going to press equals. Now we want this cell to equal 1, so I'm going to click on this one here, times 2, and in here I'm not going to click on the times 2 because it won't recognize that. So I'm going to press the star symbol and then 2, and I'm going to press enter, and you should see what will happen is it'll do a calculation and work out what the answer is. 1 times 2 is 2. A 2 times 2 there with the equal symbol. Now if I had to do that for every single cell here, it would take a while. So we're going to use a little cheat. The first thing we want to do is have a look at this cell, and in the bottom right, can you see that little square? I'm going to highlight it, and when it becomes a black cross, I'm going to click it, hold it down, and drag that all the way down the column, all the way down to number 10. What that will do is it will copy the formula across, but instead of using 1, it will use 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 times 2. And what will happen is that will come up with the answers for us. So if we have a look at this one, it's equal A2 times 2 equals A3 times 2, A4 times 2, and so on, all the way down. And we've just saved ourselves a lot of time. Okay, so now we can check that. If we know our 2 times tables, we know that's right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So let's move on to our 3 times table. And what we have to do is equals, and we're going to click on the 1. The reason we're clicking on it and not typing 1 is because we've input this data here, and when we drag it down, it will change it to 2, to 3, to 4, to 5, 6, to 7, based on the data that we've put in. So if I just press that cell there, so we want this to be A2 times, and this is our 3 times table, so I'm going to press 3, and then enter. And then again, using our little cheat, so we're going to click on that cell, wait for it to become a black cross, and then drag it all the way down to number 10. And again, we can check to see if we've got that right oh, if the times table's right. So 3, 6, 9, 12. Yep, fantastic. And all I want you to do is just work your way across, seeing if you can do that for each times table. So 4 equals that times 4. Brilliant. Drag it down. This one is equals first, remember. This one times 5. Enter. Drag it down. Nearly there. Equals A2 times 6. Equals A2 times 7. And so on and so forth. You can go all the way to the end. One thing you might want to do, just to make it look a little bit smarter, is if you highlight these columns and press Bold. Sorry, this row, yeah, and this column here, and just make it bold. Then it's easy for you to see that these are the labels, and then that's all the data that we're going to be seeing. So have a go at doing that. Create your very own times table grid using formulas in Microsoft Excel. Good luck.